Welcome to another episode of the Goddess Sugar Podcast. I trust that you are arriving in gratitude, love, and all the magic the universe has to offer because you are very much magical. A gentle reminder before we dive in, everything that I speak about on my podcast comes from my personal truth, experiences, and journey. Take what resonates with your spirit and leave what doesn't. This is a space for exploration and not perfection. Trust your own path and let's walk this magical journey together. Before any episode, I think it's important for me to acknowledge the people and the forces that have brought me here today. Thank you to my divine pantheon for trusting me with your ancestral wisdom. Thank you to Spirit for being all things. Thank you to the universe for holding the cosmic beauty of our infinity. Thank you to my ancestors who walked before me. Thank you to my sacred guides for holding my hand every step of the way. Thank you to my family, friends, mentors, teachers, and the collective who support me in this physical realm. And thank you to myself for daring to live as the goddess that I am. What's up? We back, okay, for another episode of the Goddess Sugar Podcast. What is going on, my goddesses, my gods? What's going on? I hope y'all are feeling real magical. You know, we got the holiday coming up. It's a lot of good things going on. Still in the season of the harvest. I know I'm feeling good, and I hope you feeling good, and I hope you're ready for this episode. Okay? Period. You already know how I do. I have to set the vibes. So I'm gonna bring in my candle right here. Oh, get your candle, get your incense, whatever you need to get into the vibe. You know, I gotta get my little spritz, little spritz. Hawaii's. Let me stop playing. Okay. And this smells so good. Y'all ready to get into it? Y'all ready? What's up? Okay. Before I get into this episode, I did have a few announcements I wanted to tell y'all about because I did something so exciting and I'm so proud of myself. So first things first, as I mentioned in the last episode, please do not be afraid to comment. Like, I'm telling y'all, I will interact back with you. I love interacting with y'all. I love hearing from y'all. So go ahead and comment, you know what I'm saying? If you feel up to it, no pressure. And I love how y'all was into the polls. Okay, I mentioned it and y'all got into it. So yes, of course, this episode is going to have a poll like any other episode. Okay, number 3. I realized that I never really gave y'all my other platforms and other accounts. So if you want to go follow your girl, see what I'm up to, see how the goddess lives her life, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. It's the same name, Goddess Zipporah, and I'll put it down below as well. But yeah, also I have my Linktree link in the About section on here on Spotify, where you go to the About and read what this podcast is about. If you go to the bottom, I actually have my Linktree at the bottom. That's also a way that you can get into my other platforms if you want to just see what I'm up to. And also the exciting thing I wanted to tell y'all about before we get into the episode is that your girl launched a Patreon, and I'm so excited because for the longest I put it off and now I got it up. So on there, let me explain how this is going to work on this platform. So just like on Spotify, how you're listening to me right now, right? Okay, you will also have access to the public episodes on my Patreon. Okay, but the thing that makes it a little different is that on my Patreon, I have free membership. Like I said, you'll have access to the public episodes just like you're seeing here on Spotify. But for my people who want to take it a step further, my gods and goddesses that's about it, okay, I have 3-tiered memberships. Okay, so the first tier, that is for the honey babes. So for the honey babes, you get 2-day early access to all of my episodes. All of the public episodes, you get 2-day early access. You're also going to get weekly heart-to-heart posts, okay? Give you things to think about. Little gems are going to drop here and there. And you also get access to the Honey Babes group chat. Also, just to let you know, every tier has its own group chat. So you get exclusive access to that. Okay, next tier number 2. That is for my queen bees, okay? Queen bees. You are going to get exclusive bonus episodes. So I have my public episodes that y'all have been seeing, y'all have been interacting with. Queen bees, you get everything that the honey babes get, in addition to getting exclusive bonus episodes from me. We going a little bit deeper in those episodes. That is for you. You also get your own group chat for the queen bees, and you get ritual tutorials from me. So what do I mean by ritual tutorials? I will be posting tutorials for rituals that I do personally that literally help me live my best life. And I want to help you live it too. So that's for my Queen Bees tier membership. Now, for my goddesses, that's really about it, okay? We have the Sunflower Empresses tier. That, in my opinion, is the best one because you get access to me on a different level, okay? With the Sunflower Empresses tier, you are going to get monthly mentorship calls with me one-on-one, okay, with the goddess. You hear me? You also get check-ins via voice notes. So I'll be checking in with you bi-weekly. Okay, so you get my support there. And like I said, you also get everything that the honey babes get and the queen bees. So you're getting exclusive episodes, mentorship calls. Okay, you're getting my support one-on-one. And I'm that girl. Y'all know that. So, you also get the exclusive episodes. You get early access to the public episodes. You're getting everything, you know what I'm saying, in this tier. And you also get access to the Sunflower Empresses group chat, the goddess circle, if you want more community, more support in that realm. So go check on my Patreon and see what I have for y'all. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's no pressure whatsoever, but just see what resonates with you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me. Just hit me up and ask questions if you're not sure about something, if you want to know more about what I'm offering. Also, I do have a FAQs page on my Patreon if you just want further information. And another thing too, even if you decide that you don't want to enroll in a paid membership tier and you just want to join as a free member, that is okay too, because the things that I'm offering in my Patreon shop are also for sale. So right now I do have a collections up with my manifestas. So what are my manifestas? Those are my personal manifestas that I use. I use them for my life. You know what I'm saying? That have helped me literally get anything I want. Anything I'm trying to affirm, I'm trying to see in my life, I have used these manifestors personally, so I know they're powerful, I know they're potent, okay? And I made them. But yeah, so I also will have those for sale and more offerings are coming soon. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to hit up your girl. But yeah, go check my Patreon out. That is something that I was so excited about telling y'all about. And yeah, now you know. So I'm putting all of it in the link tree. Everything is in my link tree. Okay, that is my ultimate link. Everything having to do with this is in the link tree. All right, so yeah, okay, that's it for the announcements. Y'all ready for this episode though? Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so today, this episode is about stepping into your witchy power, understanding that you are the baddest witch, period. And when I'm talking about the term witch in this episode, witch stands for woman in total control of herself, okay? Keep that in mind as you're listening to the episode. We're talking about confidence, conviction, aura, magic, okay? Glitz, glam. We are going to be talking about stepping into your identity as a goddess. So breathe in power, breathe out the doubt, and let's get it. So I'm gonna take off my glasses, even though these are look at this. That's just so iconic. Who does that? So the inspiration for this episode came about because a common question that I get from people is, how do I move with so much confidence? How do I show up with so much confidence? And the thing is, whether you believe me or not, I did not wake up like this, y'all. This is years and years of work. Just a little vulnerable moment. I feel like everybody has their own demons or really hard challenges that they deal with in their lifetime. During my childhood, my thing was low confidence and low self-esteem. The crazy thing is, I feel like with some people, when it comes to confidence issues, sometimes you could really see it. You could tell, you know what I'm saying, someone is insecure sometimes. Other times, I feel like there's people that are very quiet with it. Or they just know how to make it seem like they're confident. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was more on that end. Because when I tell people that I had extreme confidence issues growing up, they're like, what? Are you serious? And it's I, as a kid in my teenage years, I got used to wearing a mask that I was confident, but I truly wasn't confident within. But see, now I am in a space where I'm truly confident within, so I don't have to wear a mask. And maybe you resonate with that. Maybe you feel like you're wearing a mask or feeling like you have to fake it until you make it. I don't know. But that's what kind of is bringing me to the concept of this episode, because I really wanted to talk about, what it means to have goddess confidence, that witchy confidence. Like, who is that girl that just stepped in the room? And also, with it being Sag season, okay, hold on. Because I have love for the Sag. I have love for the Sag because I'll tell you this. Every Sag I know, that confidence is through the roof. I would say, like, with the Sag woman I know, confidence. Like, one of my good friends, she's a Sag. And that's one thing that I always admired about her. It's just her confidence to do whatever. Like, she will show up and just do whatever. And, you know what I'm saying? I gotta love her for that. And then as far as the Sag men, look, one thing y'all gonna do is apply that pressure, because the confidence it's just there. And so I wanted to bring that in as well, just, with it being Sag season. Like, that's one thing that I do love about a Sagittarius. Like, the confidence is just there, baby. That fire, okay, is there. Y'all got it. So give y'all some pat on the back. Back to the topic. Your confidence as a goddess is where your magic lies. And I will say from experience, because the way that I got out of my self-esteem issues and having low confidence and not believing in myself, most of my life, for real, like my younger ages, my confidence was such an issue that sometimes I wouldn't even look at myself in the mirror, because I felt like I was always going to find something wrong, and so sometimes I really wouldn't, I would literally wash my hands looking down. So serious, that's how deep it kind of went for me. And so, I will always look at other women or other girls and be like, dang, they have so much confidence. I wish I could do that. I wish I could feel confident enough to go up on stage. I wish I could feel confident enough to wear that or to say that or to speak my mind, right? And so I was dealing with that spirit or that demon, however you want to word it. I was dealing with that for a long time. And like I said, it was very quiet. A lot of people did not understand, oh, she doesn't feel that confident in herself. I was able to hide it really well. But inside, I did not feel the best about myself, And so it actually came to a day. I was in college. I'm trying to think what year that was. Was it 2021 or 2022? It may have been, I think it was 2022. Okay. And I'm telling y'all, this moment right here literally sparked my extreme goddess awakening. I feel like life is just remembering, who you are and what you are. But this moment right here literally just it was that turning point in my spiritual awakening. So I remember it was one day and I came in, and again, I told y'all I had issues with looking at myself in the mirror. So it was one day I had my full-size mirror on the back of my bathroom door. And I just sat on the bed because the way my room was set up, it was for two people, but I got lucky and I didn't have a roommate at that time. So I was sitting on the other side, on the other bed that was literally facing this mirror. So I go sit and look in this mirror and I'm like, Zipporah, just look at yourself. Just look at yourself. And I finally, gather my courage to look at myself. And I immediately bust out crying. And, I just kept crying. And it's I could hear all these different voices in my head. It was such an odd experience. So I got closer to the mirror because I wanted to see in my eyes, because I wanted to know why, why did I not feel so confident in myself? What was going on, And that was a moment that I truly felt broken. I'm not gonna lie. It really was a vulnerable moment for me as I was looking at myself in this mirror and basically doing this gazing, because eyes are the doors to the soul. And so as I looked at my soul, essentially, I realized that I had a lot of self-worth wounds that I didn't know how to deal with. I didn't even know really where they came from, because my family always spoke good things into me. I never had anybody speak ill into me. It was never that. And so, I was trying to figure out where these things came from. But also I know as a child, I often compared myself to other people and other women, and I just didn't feel like I fit the standard. I felt like I was too odd. I felt like I was just too much of an outlier, and I'm sitting here wishing, dang, I wish I could have that confidence. I'm crying. I could not stop crying, y'all, because I was really getting to the root of what was going on. Literally, I was crying because I was sad, I was broken. But then this fire came about, and literally I can't even explain to y'all. Like, something clicked and it was just like, I'm done. I'm done feeling this way about myself. I'm done feeling broken. I'm done feeling low. I'm done feeling not confident in myself because I'm amazing. And it's like, I know that, but I wasn't really implementing it. Also, I realized in this moment, because I told y'all, I had a family who spoke really great things into me all my life. I had friends who spoke into me. Everybody around me spoke these great things into me. But see, the thing is, y'all, and you gotta take this nugget. It don't matter what anybody else is saying. If you don't believe it about yourself, it won't matter. And that's where I was at. It was like everybody else believed in me. Everybody else saw the light in me. I didn't see it in myself. So that's why it wasn't hitting. That's why none of it was really sitting in, because I didn't have that confidence in myself and who I was and my beauty and what I could contribute to this world. I just didn't. Like, I was not moving in a conscious way when it came to my self-worth, when it came to my confidence and things like that. So literally in that moment, I'm sitting here crying in the mirror. I'm like, I'm done. Literally, I said, fuck it, y'all. Like, I was like, no, like, from this day on, I don't care how long it takes. I'm no longer going to feel this low about myself. I'm just not. Like, I can't do this anymore. And I was tired of that pity story I played in my head about not having this and not being this and wishing I can be as confident as the next girl. Like, girl, like, I promise y'all, like, I was just so done. Bringing this to the point. Your confidence is the magic, and you have to see it in yourself first, period. And you always have to be the one to affirm yourself. That's how I got into affirmations, because I literally had to combat those thoughts that were telling me I wasn't enough, the thoughts that were telling me I wasn't beautiful, the thoughts that were telling me like, well, you're not like her, so you're not it. No, I literally had to fight myself in a sense and be like, no, we're redoing this whole thing. Like, we are restarting this narrative. I gave myself a new slate. So from that moment on, like I said, I knew that I wanted to be a woman who was confident in herself. I wanted to be that woman who literally shuts the room down every time I'm in there. And over time, you know, that's how that happened. And so you have to be so convicted that you are that girl and that you are that goddess. You have to be convicted that you are the baddest one in the room. Okay? And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, once you let go of that comparison game, shit gonna change for you, because you no longer show up in the world like, oh, I have to meet this standard, or I have to be like this person to be considered this, to be considered beautiful, to be considered confident, to be considered an it girl. No, an it girl, that's an energy. It's not a look. It has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with what you're wearing. What you're wearing and how you show up, that's just your unique expression. But an it girl, that starts within. That starts with knowing you are that witch, okay? You're that girl. Understanding that you have to affirm for yourself the woman that you want to be, or the person that you want to be. Okay, understanding that you are a unique expression of God, of goddess. Okay, you are a facet of that. So the way that you show up is the way that you show up. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't look at what they doing. They're showing up in their unique expression, and you have to show up in your unique expression. And as far as being a witch, because I know everybody's not too cool with the term, it depends on who you are. What's crazy is, even when I was younger, people used to call me that. See, I used to get offended because I thought it was a bad thing. But I actually don't think the term witch is a bad thing. I like it. It's kind of mystical. You know what I'm saying? In this episode, I'm using it in the way of a woman that is in total control of herself, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And what I mean by being in total control is that you've totally accepted yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's one of my big keys to my confidence. As I have come into the woman I am, I've really realized like I'm extremely multifaceted, and like I cannot fit myself into one facet all the time. Like it's not gonna work. That used to be a big frustration for me, because I'm like, hold on, people know me as this way, so I have to show up in this way all the time. But then behind closed doors, I'm different. No. I'm just gonna show up as all of me all the time. That's just how it works for me now. And also, I've accepted all parts of me, and I really encourage you to do so. And not just your light side, but your shadow side too. You have to be able to integrate all of you, because all of you is all of you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no need to disregard parts of yourself. That's how I'm able to show up the way that I show up, because not only do I accept all facets of me, but I have no shame in any facets of me. When you show up so confident in yourself and you have no shame in your game, nobody can come against you. Nobody can try to shame you about you. You already know that about yourself. So you can't say nothing to me. You know what I mean? Those are like some keys that I've implemented over time, and how I'm able to just show up. And even me talking to y'all right now in this podcast episode, me about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was even scared to post a picture of myself on Instagram. Like, that shit would make me cringe, you know, like. But again, over time, I've just developed this confidence. You know, I've been very intentional about undoing that narrative that I told myself and rewriting a new one for myself. And so that's what you have to do for you. I will be dropping a manifesto that I've used personally for Goddess Confidence. I'm gonna make sure y'all get that, because yeah, you have to affirm it to yourself. And also for my goddesses, y'all probably already know, but when you're saying your affirmations, you need to be doing them in the mirror. You need to be seeing yourself, okay? Because when you're speaking, boom, you put it into the mirror, it's just gonna reflect back. That's what it is. Because your true confidence is a spell. And once you cast that spell, baby, the world can only align to that, because as I've told y'all, the world is your canvas. So when you show up as this new woman that you want to be, you stand a little taller, you smiling all the time, you know what I'm saying? You coming with that feminine energy, the world can do nothing but respond to that. Remember, the world is only responding to your beliefs about yourself. That's the key. That's a nugget. Hope y'all write that down. The world only responds to your beliefs about yourself. So if you come and show up in the world as a woman that holds herself in high regard, that is confident in herself, that's confident in her abilities, the world is going to respond accordingly. Now, if you show up as a woman that maybe is not so confident and you're always walking with your head down, and it's just like, and the world responds to that. So you got to keep that in mind. That's why it's important to change and rewrite the beliefs that you have about yourself first, so then it projects out into the world. Stop comparing yourself to the standard. This fake ass standard. I'm sorry. That was a little aggressive. But I'm telling you, it's a fake standard. You are the standard. You make the rules. That's something that I had to realize about myself, because like I told y'all, I used to compare myself so bad. Like, it was so bad. I'm like, when I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, what? Like, why were you doing that? When I decided that Goddess Zipporah is the standard for me in my life, game changer. Because you walk into every room and set the bar. But not because you need other people to rise, you know what I'm saying, to you. It's just like you're setting the bar for yourself. You gotta walk into every room like you own that shit. It don't matter who else in the room. I don't care if Beyonce's in the room. You still walk in that room like you own it. Okay? When you walk in there, people can only respond accordingly. So think about your posture. Think about how you walk. I know me, because even my friend has told me this. Like, when I walk, especially in my heels, y'all, like, you better own that sidewalk. I want them to hear me coming. That's the kind of energy you gotta have. And I will say, because I was talking about Sag earlier, really the fire signs, period, are really good with this. But I would say when it comes to your goddess confidence, pull on that Leo energy. I say Leo because Leo, the archetype of Leo, they naturally have, some people call it arrogance. They naturally have this confidence that's just like, no, the world revolves around me. And I'm gonna let y'all know that. And I love that. That's the type of wave you gotta move in when it comes to you. You are the blueprint. You're not waiting for somebody else to do it and then you do it. No, you go first. You set the tone. And the thing is, I was thinking about this as I was, thinking about what I wanted to talk about for this episode. But think about somebody that you really admire. Maybe a celebrity. I don't know. You don't like them because they're like everybody else, right? You like them because they're different. You like them because they're unique. You like them because they're iconic. That's what makes icons iconic. They stand out. You cannot get them confused with anybody else. And somebody that really comes to mind when I think about iconic is Lady Gaga. Like, when I go back and listen to her music and I just look at how she shows up, it's like, yeah, to some people she may be weird, she may be off-putting, but that girl's iconic. Y'all can't tell me that. People love her because Lady Gaga, first of all, her name, but you cannot get her confused with anybody else. And all of her songs, like I said, when I go back and listen, like it does, like it just really gets me hyped up because just like, like it really gives you that energy. That's how you have to think about yourself. Think about yourself as an icon. You set this shit. Don't nobody compare to you. When you stop shrinking and stop seeking permission, that's going to up your confidence as well. Because a lot of people, I feel like, deal with confidence issues because you're waiting on someone to validate it for you. You're waiting for someone to be like, oh, you look good, or you're beautiful, to be like, yeah, I'm beautiful. No. Or, especially in this age, because we're all into social media, you waiting for a certain amount of likes before that validates that, oh, your shit popping. Oh, you look good. No, baby. The moment that you decided to post it, you should have known that. Like, fuck the likes. Fuck what everybody got to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have that goddess like mindset. Another person that comes to mind when I think about it, I know he's controversial. I know. But for the sake of this conversation, Kanye, his confidence through the roof. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. As far as his confidence is concerned, I'm not talking about everything he be talking about, but I'm focused on confidence because that's our conversation. Confidence is not just important in the sense of like expressing yourself in the world. This is also important when it comes to you manifesting. You got to be so confident in who you are and your power and your connection to source and your connection to God, goddess. You got to be so confident that that's just like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Something that I challenge you to do as you are developing your confidence and just developing who you are. Pick out little things that you love about yourself. I mean, it could be the smallest thing or the biggest thing. And this is something that helped me. Like, I literally started with 5 things that I just absolutely love about myself, that I absolutely know, like, nobody got this like me. Like, y'all can try to be similar, but y'all can't do this like me. Write it down and review those things every single day. Because once you look at those things, then you start to recognize more things that you love about yourself. You start to recognize more things that make you iconic and that make you different. And once you love what makes you different from everybody else, you're going to show up 1,000 times better. Confidence is not just the external, okay? It's energetic. People can tell when you're confident, and most people can tell if you're insecure. I can't speak for y'all, but I know for me, like, someone who is convicted in themselves and who they are, that's extremely attractive because it's like you are sure of yourself. Nothing can shake you because you know who you are. As you become more confident, you also become more attractive. I'm not even gonna cap to you. You have to remember that confidence is a choice and reinvention is a choice. The beautiful thing is that you can change these things at any time. You can always reinvent yourself. If you are a girl like me, like I told y'all my story a little bit, that had confidence issues on the inside, that did deal with low self-esteem, you can literally decide in one day, you know, I'm done with this shit. I'm not doing it. We're doing something different and I'm going to be a different woman. That is the beautiful thing about life, period. You can always start over. You can always be somebody new. And I will also recommend, like, even if you have like trouble figuring out like what you really love about yourself or what you really like about yourself, okay, think about some of the qualities that you see out in the world that you would like to embody. Think about some of the qualities that you really like and be like, yeah, I'm that too. And start telling yourself you're that too. You know, like I said, for me, it was just a confidence thing. It was just like, I want to be that girl that, you know, feels comfortable putting anything on and knowing that I'm beautiful regardless. You know, like those are little things that I wanted to work on. I knew that I wanted to be a woman that smiled all the time. That's literally what I do now. Like, as y'all can tell. Because also when you move in a way, you know what I'm saying, with true confidence, people are just going to be drawn to your energy. Because like I told y'all, confidence is energetics. It's all energetics. Okay? And then it just shows up on the outside. Just shows up. You know? And ladies, you have to remember, as a goddess, she doesn't hope to be seen. She's not desperate to be seen. She allows herself to be witnessed. As you become more confident, you have to become more comfortable with being seen because the aura is going to change. Everything's going to change. And so you got to get ready for that, boo. When you walk out, when you step out, it's time to stunt. I'm sitting here playing around with y'all. Something that I had to learn, you know, with the confidence too, as I was like going through that time, please understand that dimming your light to make other people comfortable, that is not humility. That is self-abandonment. I say that because, like I said, you are a facet of God and Goddess. So part of your divine duty is to show up in this lifetime as magical as you are. And so when you do like this and you don't express that magic because you feel like, I don't want to be too big, I don't want to do too much, because I also dealt with those wounds as well, because there would be times that I would actually feel like I was supposed to be big, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do too much. Like I said, pull on that Leo energy. Do the fucking most. Okay? But you cannot abandon yourself. That was also another reason why I was crying so bad that one day in the mirror that I told y'all about, because I realized that I abandoned myself. Like, it had nothing to do with anybody. Like, it was truly something that I did to myself. Like, I left myself, you know? And that shit hurts when you realize that you abandoned yourself in some form or fashion. And so, yeah, the lack of confidence, you know what I'm saying? You moving in a very small way, that's not cool. And we gotta stop that right now, friend, because again, it's not doing the world good. It's not doing you any good. Like, it's a no-go. And when you decide to, like I said, and move small, opportunities also cannot find you, because you are supposed to be this beacon of light. But if you do it like this, you know what I'm saying? You can't, where she at? We can't find her, you know, because you're not shining like you're supposed to, babe. And that's the thing, like, you cannot be afraid to be a star. You cannot be afraid to be a supernova. Okay, when I think about stars, they're not afraid to shine. They're out there in the cosmos doing their thing, just sitting there, boom. And they're also surrounded by other stars. So that's why it's important, to my next point, that's why it's important as you start to develop your confidence and really show up in the world as that. It's also important that you are around other people who are confident in themselves. Because when you actually decide to show up as who you truly are and the goddess that you are, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna trigger a lot of people. It's gonna trigger a lot of people because a lot of people are like, how dare she? How dare you show up so bright? Or a lot of people project and they're like, damn, I could never do that. I could never show up like that. And they feel like you shouldn't be doing it. Because also, you got to remember, y'all, as you are continuing to awaken, moving your goddess energy, your God energy, when people see you, it may trigger them because, again, it has nothing necessarily to do with you, but it forces them to look back at themselves. And see, a lot of people don't like to do that. A lot of people don't like to take that mirror and be like, what am I seeing right now? What do I need to work on? Where do I need to do better? Because a lot of people will rather stay comfortable in their narrative of reality. If we being honest. So that's something that you just have to keep in mind. Stars are around other stars. Okay? Do not be afraid to shine. And with your confidence, like I said, every time that you step out on that sidewalk, you step out into the world, you're casting a spell, baby. You are casting a spell with your energy, and that shit is contagious. And I say that because just like a smile is contagious, like, have you ever like been out and you just smile or somebody else smile and it make you want to smile? That is the same concept with your confidence. Okay, when you walk, that's why I was saying, when you dim your light and you dim your confidence and you don't walk in that, it does a disservice to everybody, because also you don't understand that you walking in your magic and you walking in your light, you are also inspiring other people to do the same. Y'all gotta remember, like, we're all connected and we do have impact on each other. You showing up as the goddess that you need to show up as, walking confident, walking knowing you that girl. You don't know who you're gonna meet, you know what I'm saying, meeting in the city or while you're out, and they see you and they're like, damn, I could do that. Or I like the way she doing that. Let me embody more of that energy. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta remember, when you show up as you, when you show up as the supernova that you are, with that confidence, that woman in total control of herself, the baddest witch, okay? You're inspiring the world, okay? Because we have to see more people doing it. You the blueprint, baby. You the blueprint. So show up. Do not be afraid to show up in your confidence and know who you are. There's just a certain type of glow that you have when you walk as that girl. it's like people can tell, like, she know who the fuck she is. And so we got to respond accordingly because we can't tell her nothing. And confidence is not ego. You know what I'm saying? You knowing who you are does not make you, like I said, some people call it arrogance, cocky, whatever, conceited, whatever word you want to use. That doesn't make you any of that. It's you simply honoring spirit within you. Okay? So understand that, understand. I've been trying to catch myself with saying that. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Understand that your confidence is spirit within you wanting to shine. Okay, so don't hold that back, baby. We need that. The world needs that. Okay, we need that. We need that goddess confidence, that God confidence, that God energy. Okay, do not be afraid to show up in the world as who you came here to be, because there was already conversations of you being bright as fuck. So it's like, why are you not shining? What are we waiting on? Okay, we waiting on it. Stop playing with us. When you accept all of you, the authentic you, and stop performing, that's where your confidence actually finds stability. You know, because like I said, some people may be faking the confidence. You do what you got to do. But to have that true, stable confidence that doesn't go anywhere, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what people have to say about you, is when you accept the authentic you, the one without the mask, okay? The one that's not performing, the one that doesn't put your validation in likes or comments, but actually just puts it in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you wake up every morning, when you look in that mirror, you validate yourself, and that's it, all right? Anything that comes after, any compliments that come after, likes, whatever, that's extra. But your validation is the foundation and the only foundation that you need. You feel me? Thank you for tuning in to another episode with me, with your girl, Goddess. Remember, confidence is a spell that you cast every single day. When you choose yourself and you decide to walk as the goddess that you are, the world has no other choice but to treat you accordingly. Stay witchy and stay in total control of yourself. Until next time, love, I'll see you. Stay calm. And remember, even when life tries to throw salt in your sugar, be a goddess anyway. Peace and blessings. Much love. Ciao, ciao. Ashe. Until next time, love. XOXO.